This is my show called Expand at Xchanges Gallery. This work here is evolving out of the smaller works here called Expanding Field. All of these works are about an interplay between nature, science, and the cosmos. I'm including many of my interests in crystals, crystalline structure, sacred geometry, mark making, color theory, and expressive ways of using paint. So I'm also involved in exploring these sacred geometry shapes that you see in this painting and in the other painting here. And they are sort of underpinning a lot of the work I do. This shape is called icosahedron, and it symbolizes water. And this is referencing aquamarine, a stone. So all of this work is also referencing theoretical cosmology, and the underpinning of the grid system in here is like the intersection of time and space. So I'm working with all my ideas involving quantum physics as well, which means there are no still things in the universe. Everything is in movement. And that's why I've constructed these paintings so that they keep expanding and growing out into the ethers, as it were. The white ground is representing the ethers, and the black squares kind of hold things together, and they seem to also reference maybe dark matter or black holes. I don't know exactly what, but they seem to be really important for the work, for me to just hold it together. So I like to let the paint work in a way that it just kind of flows and has ambiguous qualities, like wet and wet techniques of paint up here you can see, in contrast with the really solid geometric hard edge shapes. So it's organic and geometric contrast. A lot of this work is about exploring different contrasts. Because I think we all have these contrasts, so I'm kind of like embracing my conflicts and contrasts and bringing them all together so they work in one harmonious way. Let's see, what else do we have? We have linear markings that are exploring really a free-form kind of line, as well as other mark making where I'm bringing in constellations here. There's, I think that's Sirius, and that is also associated with these kind of symbolic languages that I'm using here. And they're associated with different constellations out of a very esoteric deck I have that I use as a divination deck to work in these paintings. Let's see, what else am I exploring here? The concept of this being the kind of earthy part of, and also the watery cosmos here, connecting to the ethers up here. So it's all moving into the other realms. There are 5 shapes in this, what are known as Platonic solids, and these are shapes that were brought forward by Plato. And so I have 2 of them here, and then in the other series there are some other ones. And this one, as I mentioned, represents water and kind of aquamarine. That represents the ethers, and it's referencing the stone amethyst. So I plan on doing all 5 of them at some point. But this also evolved as a way of making a large painting that I can dismantle and store in my studio, because as most artists, I have a storage issue. So these are all separate paintings. Some of them are attached, and some of them are separate. So they can keep expanding as the universe is expanding. Oh, and another part I didn't mention, I'm also really interested in color theory. So each one of these has these solid colors, and they are what are called split complementaries, and so they play out through the whole painting, but they're also moving back and forth. And I think this really solid area of color in contrast with the watercolory areas is something I like to explore, obviously. And the transparency as well as the solid colors.